Okay, I do have a challenge for you. Let's solve it. Feel free to pause the video, read the question and options, have the right answer in your mind, and then continue the video with me. We're gonna solve it together. Question: the Thompson family allocates a significant portion of their earnings towards their retirement savings. Okay. Previously, they maintained their savings in a bank account, but recently they made a strategic decision to diversify their investments. They chose to invest in the common shares of XYZ Corporation. XYZ Corporation utilizes a portion of their investments to acquire new technology equipment, while another portion is invested in renewable energy projects. Which direct investment can be identified in this sequence of events? This is really great question. This is really great question. It's about direct investment and indirect investment. Remember, indirect investment, we're buying stocks, bonds, depositing or saving. These are all indirect investment. And direct investment, we're buying house, land, car. Yeah. Let's get to the options. Option A, XYZ Corporation's investment in renewable energy projects. B, XYZ Corporation's purchase of new machinery. C, the Thompson family depositing their money in a bank account. D, the Thompson family depositing their money in a bank. D, the Thompson family's investment in common shares of XYZ Corporation. As we talked about, the C and D are indirect investments. And the question is looking for direct investment. We're down to option A and B. Actually, I think both option A and B are correct, because option B says XYZ Corporation's purchasing a new machinery. So this is definitely a direct investment. Option A also says XYZ Corporation's investment in renewable energy projects. So this is also new projects. Yeah, this is also correct. So A and B both are correct. And this is weird. I'm sorry for this question. But it's cool. It's cool to know that A and B, because these are both direct investments. But B is more correct, more accurate. Great. Let's get to the next question. This is an individual challenge designed for you. Okay, let's get to it. Just please answer it yourself first. We're going to make sure that you are getting all the information. You are acquiring everything. In OTC market, over the counter or dealer market, in OTC markets, who is responsible for entering the bid and ask quotations? A, dealers. B, buyers and sellers. C, security issuers. D, banks. The answer is option A. Why? As we talked about it, in OTC or dealer market, dealers negotiate with each other and find a fair price. There is no individual buyer and seller. Instead, in the auction market, buyers bid and sellers ask operates in the auction market. Awesome. That was it. Yeah, we did it. This is end of chapter 2. I think you're doing great. Like, you're absorbing all the required information, and I can feel the confidence because you're building a good foundation of this course. Awesome. You did a great job, and I'm gonna see you in the next chapter, chapter 3. So take care of yourself. Great. I do have 4 challenges for you. This is interesting. So we have learned different terms related to economy in Canada. Now I do have 4 questions. 4 questions that I think you're gonna get at least 3 of the almost same questions on your final test. Okay, so take it seriously. Try to answer it yourself first, and we're gonna go through the answer together. Challenge number 1: an increase in which variable directly contributes to growth in GDP? Capital stock, B, government debt, C, interest rate, D, equity market. This is very, very hard questions. A hard question. I have extracted it from exactly from a part of the book, and the right answer is capital stock, A. Okay, just read that text. I have copied it from the textbook. I haven't mentioned that this in the slides. That's why I wanted to have it in a different, separate challenge. So, growth in GDP results from a variety of factors. Among the more important are increase in population over time. Okay, even if the output of every worker remained constant, GDP would rise. When there are lots of people to work, businesses will sell more, there are more production, so growth in GDP will be higher. Second factor, increase in the capital stock. Okay? As more workers are provided with additional equipment, and as their skills have been improved with better training and education, individual productivity rises. Okay? And you can read the rest yourself. This is the most important point to get. So by increasing capital stock, so the term capital stock is defined here. When as more workers are provided with additional equipment, and when skills are higher, they have been better trained and educations are higher, then productivity rises. By capital stock, the term capital stock is defined here. So it hasn't been mentioned in the slides, I know, but you're learning it now. Okay, so remember what capital stock is. And the increase in capital stock is increasing the GDP. Great, let's get to the next challenge. Challenge number 2, interesting question. Which action taken by the Bank of Canada would be an expansionary monetary policy? Oh my God. Policy. A, raising the overnight rate. B, selling bonds. C, performing a redeposits. And D, making a drawdown. So, what were those expansionary strategies? BOC buys a bond. BOC perform redeposits. When perform redeposit, what does perform redeposits mean? It means from its account in Federal Reserve, it transfers money to the 6 big banks or other banks that the government has account in. So those banks have money now. They can give it to people and start the growth in the economy. So performing a redeposit is an expansionary monetary policy. Let's get to the next challenge. Challenge number 3. What are examples of lagging economic indicators? Remember lagging? We had leading, coincidence, and lagging. You need to memorize all the factors, all the examples in that slide. Okay, what are the examples of lagging economic indicators? A, average hours worked per week and the money supply. B, GDP and personal income. C, industrial production and retail sales. And D, private sector trends and equipment spending and unemployment. And as you may know, the right answer is D. As I said before, try to remember and memorize all those examples of leading, coincidence, and lagging economic indicators. You are definitely, like, I guarantee you, you definitely will get questioned from that slide. Not only that slide, like all the slides were important, but you're gonna definitely get questioned from that economic indicators. Let's get to the last slide and last challenge. Challenge number 4 and last slide. Wow, we've come so far. Like, good, you did a great job. Let's get to the last challenge. How does an increase in the inflation rate affect investment returns? A, the real return would be reduced. B, the nominal return would be increased. C, the nominal return would be increased. And D, the real return would be unaffected. Definitely not D. So, when inflation rate, we mentioned that if you wanna have a better sense of GDP, interest rate, investment return, you need to consider inflation rate. It gives you a real thing, a real scenario now, because you are considering the rising prices, okay? When inflation increase, it means you're getting less return. Your real return would be decreased. So the right answer would be A. The real return would be reduced. It does not affect nominal return, because nominal return is a plain return you get on paper. It does not include inflation. Real GDP, real return, real interest rate equals nominal of these minus inflation rate. Awesome. I'm proud of you. I am proud of you. This was very long chapter. I am sorry for that, but we needed to absorb all the required information, and we did it. You did it. You did a great job. And yeah, we finished chapter 3. Unbelievable. We just started and now finished chapter 3. I will see you in chapter 4. So take care of yourself. Challenge designed just for you. Let's get to it. At what stage of the life cycle is there typically a higher inclination to buy life insurance? A, early earning years, B, mature earning years, C, nearing retirement, D, family commitment years. You will get this type of question on your final test. So remember to memorize all those characteristics of 5 life cycle groups. Okay? We know that 2 primary characteristics of family commitment years are lack of liquidity and the need for life insurance. So the right answer is D. And yes, we finished chapter 4. You are doing awesome. Keep up the great work. I will see you in chapter 5. So take care of yourself. Welcome to challenge number 1 of chapter 5. Jason had a meeting with Isabella. I like the name Isabella. The tone, Isabella. Okay, Jason had a meeting with Isabella, a mutual fund sales. Isabella is a mutual fund sales representative to evaluate his portfolio. During the discussion, Isabella discovered that Jason had opened a self-directed brokerage account 12 months ago to buy individual stocks. Even though he had below average knowledge in investing, so even though he has below average investing, he opened self-directed account. Jason revealed that his initial trades resulted in losses of over 50% within a short period. But his latest investment in XYZ Tech Corporation has doubled in value. Jason avoids discussing the investments that incurred losses and prefers focusing on how he always knew XYZ Tech would perform exceptionally. What behavioral bias is Jason demonstrating? What a question. Brilliant question. Great question. You will get this type of question. Okay? Option A, hindsight. B, availability. C, loss aversion. And D, regret aversion. When it comes to a term, I knew it, remember, it's hindsight. End of discussion. So the right answer is A. Feel free to read that white text, which is copied from textbook. So whenever in the question the term I knew it comes, you need to know that, okay, this is related to hindsight bias. Let's get to the second challenge and last question. In the scenario where financial advisor Nazila recommends a growth mutual fund portfolio to her client Naveed, but Naveed expresses discomfort based on a previous negative experience, what action should Nazila take? So, Nazila recommends something, recommends a growth mutual fund to Naveed. Naveed has had a bad experience because of the previous stock, okay? Now, what action should Nazila take? A, use the best practical allocation approach. B, stick to the client's preferences as they align with achieving the client's goal. C, clarify to the client that considering the long-term investment horizon reduces the reduces the validity of her fear or his fear. D, guide the client towards investing in money market funds. Remember the term best practical allocation? The definition was that. The definition was this. Adjust risk and return of your client based on his or her behavioral biases. Your client has biases. Adjust risk and return. So this process, this action is called best practical allocation. You consider your client's concerns. You try to adopt or moderate his or her biases by adjusting risk and return. This way, the client is safe and relieved. And feel free to read that white text, because it's always a good idea to read because it's copied from the text, so it's always a good idea to read the exact same text from textbook. And congratulations, you finished chapter 5. And we only got 13 more chapters, which you will finish them soon, and you will pass the exam, and you will be super happy, get hired. But right now, enjoy the fact that you have came so far. So congratulations, you're doing great. Keep up the great work, and I will see you in chapter 6. So take care of yourself. Challenge number 1. When calculating RRSP contribution room, what is considered earned income for NAV using the information in the table? So we're saying, remember RRSP topic, RRSP slide, the contribution topic aspect. We're saying the lesser of 18% of your total income, or the dollar value, dollar limit that CRA announces is your contribution room for RRSP. What's that 18% of total income? What's considered in that total income? Employment in this. So see that table. We have employment income, bonuses, dividends, net rental income, regular EI, employment insurance benefits, supplementary EI benefits, and pension adjustments. I haven't mentioned in the topic that what type of incomes are calculated, are used to calculate RRSP contribution room. But here's a good place to learn that. Earned income is your employment income, which in this scenario is 30 grand, plus your bonus, which is $500, plus net rental income, so we don't consider dividends, net rental income, which is 5 grand, plus supplementary EI benefits, which are 8 grand. So in this example, in this table, we don't consider dividends, we don't consider regular EI benefits, and we don't consider pension adjustments. We don't consider them when calculating the total income to calculate the RRSP contribution room or limit. So we just considered employment income, bonuses, net rental income, and supplementary EI benefits, not regular EI benefits. Supplementary EI benefits are for disabled people and etc. And feel free to read that white text, because it will give all the information you require when calculating RSP contribution rule. Okay? So, great. Let's get to the... so the right answer is C here. Let's get to the second challenge. Challenge number 2. The information in the table is available about Nazila's final average defined benefit plan. What is Nazila's annual earned pension if, based on the average of the best 3 consecutive years of earnings over the last 5 years of employment? We had the similar question in the in previous topics slides. Please answer it yourself first, okay? If you got the answer on your hand, just continue this video. So, we find the best 3 years. Then we find the average of those best 3 years. Then we multiply 3% by years of service, which is 30, multiplied by the average of those best 3 years. Okay, so the only point is, and we get the annual pension. Okay, the only point that you need to consider is when calculating this is it says 3 consecutive years. It doesn't say best 3 years in your last 5 years. It says best 3 consecutive years. The only thing you need to consider is that. Great. Let's get to the next topic. Next challenge. No topic. Next challenge. Challenge number 3. Challenge number 3 is waiting for you. Sarah received $240 in dividends this year from ABC shares. ABC shares held in her non-registered account. Okay? All TFSA, RSP, every like all of them are registered accounts. ABC Corporation is a taxable Canadian corporation. What is the taxable value of the dividends? Remember, we had 3 points when calculating total taxable income. Total gross income. We had interest income, no tax treatment. We have capital gain. If it was Canadian, we got 50% of that capital gain. We just report 50%. With dividends, we gross it up by 38%. So we multiply 240 by 1.38 and we get the answer, which is $331.20. So option D is right. I am sure you will get this exact same question on your final test. So, did you fully learn it? I hope so. Let's get to the last challenge. Last slide of this chapter, this long but exciting chapter. What type of investment income from Canadian source will generally be fully taxed? No tax treatment. A, dividends. B, business income. C, interest income. D, capital gain. The right answer is option C, obviously. We talked about it a lot. Dividends are grossed up by 38%. Capital gains, only 50% of them is taxed. Interest income, the business income is not investment income, of course. It doesn't make sense even. Option C, interest income are fully text. So, and by the way, feel free to read that white text. And yes, we have finished this long but fully informative and very important chapter. And can you believe it? You will get like 10% of your final test is just based on this chapter, chapter 6. And you've learned everything, ins and outs of this chapter. I'm proud of you. You are crushing it. Okay? Stay healthy, stay positive, and I will see you in chapter 6. So take care of yourself.